Okay, and I gotta say, I'm not sure that I know anybody in my average Joe circles that would say, hey, brand new shiny technology, I'll pay $100 more a month. I can't see that happening at all. I mean,
I am with you on that. I don't want to be paying $100 more, or my wife definitely doesn't want to pay $100 more because we have a shiny meter hanging in the wall somewhere, right? But the hope is like what kind of efficiencies this technology will bring it to us, and what kind of a generation increase this technology will bring it down. For example, if we find a way, and there is a way using smart grid to take, for example, in the weekdays and the daytime, you have a huge amount of office use of power, right?
In commercial buildings.
Commercial buildings, they take so much amount of power. On the night of the weekdays, as well in the weekends, those power which has been generated, usually are being generated, can be diverted towards a residence use. So if they subsidize the power during the nighttime and for the weekends for the residents to use the washer dryers, or residents to specifically use for the air conditioning or water heater during that period, there will be an opportunity for you and me to take part in that kind of specific use to cut the cost. There is an opportunity.
I don't know, Sarav. It sounds good, but I'm sitting here having nightmares of being at home during the weekday trying to do laundry or take care of my boy or something, and suddenly the power is at half or 3/4 less than usual because they're diverting it to office use during the weekday.
Sure.
Could that, I mean, that's what it sounds like could be the opposite that could happen.
The opposite side of the coin is exactly the same. There is a possibility that you will end up paying more during the weekday daytime to use your appliances against using it in the night and the weekends. There is a possibility.
And
yes.
you did say that we as a customer could control that, right?
That is right.
We could control if we wanted less at home during the day.
Definitely. There is a great possibility that we can cut down on the use, and we may be able to save money. Mm-hmm. But in the longer and bigger picture, if you look at it, if they do this distribution of power consumption, we may not be adding more generation into the existence. If we are not adding a lot of generation into the existence, we are not adding a lot of carbon into the environment. So we become green.
Okay, I was going to ask you about the carbon emissions because I think that's part of the whole cap and trade initiative is that, businesses that are using more carbon or emitting more carbon into the air will have to pay more to put more out, and then they can trade carbon credits with each other and that kind of thing.
Yes.
So this kind of ties together, right?
That is right. It kinds of not only bringing the carbon standards and carbon emission information into the system, it also gives us an opportunity to tap into clean energies like wind, solar. So if you are a very conscious customer, you want to specifically use wind and solar, you have an opportunity to use in this smart grid technology. You can say, you know what, I would like to only use the clean energy, and you can tap into it. But you may end up paying more, but you can do that.
Okay, all right. Now let me ask you this because I have a pointed question at the end of this, but I want to ask this first. First of all, I guess, what do you think about that policy with the cap and trade, with the carbon emissions? I mean, because you're looking at people. When you look at the breakdown right now, I guess politically, and we won't really have time to get into some major politics here, which I love to talk about, but we won't have time. But sure. When you look at the breakdown right now, it seems like everybody is running towards the Republicans. And the Republicans tend to be more conservative and to care less about the global warming and saving the environment and all these environmental green jobs, which a lot of them think just ain't going to happen. Okay, so where is the smart technology phase right now? Like, how close is it to actually being a reality? And politically, do you see it actually being used on a wide scale?
I'm pretty bad in politics, but technically the technology is almost there. But it is a ever-evolving technology. It evolves every day. What we have currently has enough technology to bring carbon emission information into our system, and it does have capability to allow the carbon trade to happen, which is happening already. It allows us to measure the carbon emission and the carbon footprint of an industry or a household. But how policy-wise, politically it will take shape, I am the last person to make a right comment because I am very bad in politics. Yes.
Well, I mean, politics swings both ways.
Yes.
You know, in 2008, it was all the Democrats. They got all the power in the House, Senate, White House, and everything. And so it seemed like things were moving along. But it seems to me recently, just following the news, that maybe this technology is not necessarily going to take off just because of how expensive it is. I went to an event a couple of years ago about green jobs. And the question at the end of the whole Green Job Summit was, okay, where do I go to apply? And nobody could answer the question. None of the experts up on the stage.
Sure.
So how real can this really be to, again, the regular Joe trying to get a job?
It is very real. Let me tell you about Peri's background so I can address it right.
Okay, we actually have about less than a minute. So.
Okay, Peri has its own engineering school in India, and it has its own a complete division dedicated for training our internal employees. And we are a technology company which has full-fledged smart grid technology, which includes meter and all the software products. So what we are doing is we are creating a curriculum for smart grid to train the existing workforce, so they could be retrained to be smart grid workers, that is, green energy workers, and to train the current graduates coming out of a county college to any universities to specifically in smart grid, so they can get a future jobs, which is green jobs in this world.
Okay. Well, you seem to be doing quite a bit there. I don't know how much the other mega corporations are doing, but to start a school, to be educating people on how they can work and survive, I guess, as we kind of chug slowly towards the green technology is seems to be maybe the right thing to do. So thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. And how can people find out more about you?
They can go to our website. It's perisoftware.com. It's PERI software.com.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And you said you've been around since 1999. Is that right?
11 years. Yep.
Okay. A long time.
Yes.
Doing a lot of work out there. And I guess we should just expect to see smart technology taking place very soon. At least in Glendale. It sounds like they really want it really bad in Glendale.
It is happening in Glendale, and it is happening almost everywhere in California. I have to say it is happening throughout the country and the world. Even growing countries like China and India, they are investing a lot of money on smart grid.